Unity. Only those who attain unity become what they are meant to be. The heavens attained unity and became space. Matter attained unity and became earth. Spirit attained unity and became mind. Valleys attained unity and rivers flowed into them. All things that attain unity have life, and the highest is that which produces unity. Rulers, as they attain unity, become models of conduct for the people. If heaven were not space, it would fall. If earth were not solid, it would melt. If the spirit were not unified, it would vanish. If valleys were not unified, they would dry up. Everything, if not for life, would dissipate. Rulers, if they overestimate themselves, will fail. Nobles should find their roots among the commoners, for the high is always founded upon the low. Great rulers identify with orphans, inferiors, and the unworthy because they recognize their roots in the lowest of people. The wise do not desire to be set aside as precious gems, nor discarded as worthless stones. That is chapter 39 of the Tao Te Ching. There are a few different things. This is a longer chapter, first of all, than many of the others, and there are just a few things that I want to pick out of here today. Again, another example of something that really deserves much more than the 5 minutes I'm going to give it on swell, for sure. The first is just to look at the idea of rulers as they attain unity. And I believe that means to understand their place as human. Only those who attain unity become what they are meant to be, meaning that in a world in which we can only be ourselves, we don't have the ability to be anyone else, rulers attaining unity actually gives a perspective that is not elevating, is not casting other people down. Great rulers identifying with those, literally in this text, it uses the word inferiors, which I think is something probably worth looking into the translation, into what the original text says or the different versions. I don't have other copies with me, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But recognizing their roots in the lowest of their people, the wise not desiring to be set aside as precious gems, simply as a recognition of human value, and rather in addition, the fact that despite one's station in life, that doesn't provide any special right or special privilege to cast someone into a lower status of being human, or to dehumanize someone in the first place. One of the interesting things about this word, unity, is the reminder that despite our individual experience of living, we are also interconnected. Aldous Huxley, who I've mentioned a few times, talks about this in his book Doors to Perception. It also comes up across many other texts. Huxley just happens to be among my favorite because he does put it in such a concise way. When he says that we are island universes, but we act on and react to one another. To bring this into 2023, however, to bring this into, I think its most useful form is to ask a question about who you are meant to be. And that's not a rhetorical question. It's a question for each person to answer, and in many ways not to speak. There are many folks, whether it's in responses to swells, it's a problem with social media generally, is that there are many instances of people explaining what they are meant to be and selling it. And while I don't begrudge anyone for trying to sell something or trying to create a product or trying to use their own lived experience to generate income or revenue, there is something to be said for the reality that no matter how hard we try, fully communicating our lived experience and attempting to package it up is going to feel cheap because it's not the thing itself. Like most chapters of the Tao Te Ching, this leaves us with a question to sit with, meditate on, absorb, analyze. What does it mean for you to attain unity and become who you are meant to be?